Most tax pros leave a message.
It's Jane. I'm moving on to a TurboTax expert who beat your price. Adam Devine, tell him how I feel.
Hey, tax pro, she's been thinking twice. Best believe TurboTax will beat your price. This is a tax break.
Switch to a TurboTax Live expert and we'll beat what you paid your pro last tax season. Make the switch at TurboTax.com/beatyourprice. TurboTax full service only. Sign up by 12/20/2024 and file by 4/1/2025. Full details at TurboTax.com/beatyourprice.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least that was the plan. Except now the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want your connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
If you really had other buyers at 1,000, why didn't you say no?
Because I felt that she was part, like a family, because we
Right,
shared
that's the last person you want to sell your car to is family, right?
I found that out.
Look at you now.
I found that out.
Look at you now.
This is the plaintiff, Yvonne Lowry. She says she and the defendant share a grandson, and she approached her offering to buy an extra truck she had. She paid for some of it, but still owes her, and every time she brings it up with the woman says she sold her a piece of junk. She's suing for $2,026, the money she still owed. This is the defendant, Denise Allen. She says she and the plaintiff became instant enemies after the truck sale because she misled her about the truck's condition. That's right, because after she bought it, the plaintiff told her the locks didn't work and it needed a new windshield. The woman lied to her, and she owes nothing more than she's already paid. She's accused of refusing payment. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,361.54. The money she has since put into the truck.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Milian presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ms. Lowry, you are suing Ms. Allen for $2,026. You say she owes you. Tell me what happened.
Okay. I purchased a new truck in 2016, of last year. Okay. Me and Miss Allen share a grandson together.
Okay.
So I guess it was brought to her attention that I was getting rid of my old truck.
And your old truck was what kind of truck?
2000 Ford Explorer Limited Edition.
2000 Ford Explorer. Okay, go on.
Okay, with 168,000 miles on it, okay? With that being said, okay, I was asking $1,000. I had 3 other buyers, okay? But I was putting them off until they had the actual cash in their hand, okay? So Miss Allen called me, okay, and said if I go down on the $1,000, she'd be willing. She's interested in buying the truck.
So she ends up buying it for how much?
$950. Okay. She gave me.
If you really had other buyers at 1,000, why didn't you say no?
Because I felt that she was part, like a family, because we shared.
Right, that's the last person you want to sell your car to is family, right?
I found that out.
Look at you now.
I found that out.
Look at you now. Okay.
And with that being said, Judge, I didn't get hostile. Okay, Miss Allen gave me a $250. She took a test ride in the vehicle. She came to my house. Okay.
Did you not take a test ride?
No. You didn't?
Wait, just hold on. Why would you buy a car without test driving it?
I trusted her at the time.
Why would you? It doesn't matter that you trust her. You need to know you like it.
I did not take no test drive.
Why would you not? That's the silliest thing I've ever heard. Why would you buy a car? Basically because there's not a lot of cars that are $1,000. I mean, maybe that's why. So, whatever was wrong with it, you were just going to fix it, I guess. Because what other reason would you possibly have for buying a car and not test driving it?
Lesson learned.
What lesson learned, though? And that has nothing to do with I trusted her. That has to do with you're deciding whether you want to spend $1,000 on this car. So you test drive it to make sure that you do. Okay, go on.
Denise came to my house. This is how I knew she was in distress. She had a hoopty that her daughter allowed her to drive.
A worse hoopty than your 22-year-old?
No, this is what was said to me.
Okay. So she comes to your house, and what does she tell you about the car she's driving?
She said it's about to fall apart, okay? And wintertime is coming up. And her babies, which is her grandbabies, are going to be left out in the cold in the wintertime. So me wearing my heart on my sleeve, I said, okay, Denise, I'll go down to $950. Okay?
Okay. And is there anything in you don't deny that, right? That you bought the car for $950?
I don't deny that.
All right. And then that day you paid her $250?
Yes.
And then the rest you were going to pay when?
As I could each month.
Okay, as you could each month. And according to you, what's she supposed to pay?
Starting September, my daughter, because I don't write because of my strokes, okay? I had my daughter write up a promissory letter.
Do you have the original? Because this...
That is the original.
No, this is a copy.
But it was in my... Well, no, I have the original. I gave...
Can I see the original?
Give me my bag. Oh, here it goes.
Look at that. It's falling to pieces.
Yes, because I had it for so long in my pocketbook.
Yeah, see, that's what I need right there.
Right.
It's all ripped up. It says that $250 was paid. Everybody agrees on that.
Mm-hmm. Starting September 2021, $100 a month.
Where's the $100 a month?
It's on the second line. It
says paid on a monthly basis.
$100.
Well, where's the $100 part?
Let me see.
Yeah.
Right here, $700. Balance paid. Balance of $700. Oh, it's ripped off. She ripped it off. This is all ripped off. Well, I can call my daughter on the phone. She can vouch for it. She wrote the letter.
Okay, but the part that says $100 a month is ripped off?
Yes, it's ripped off.
From the damage. You shouldn't be carrying it in your purse. You should keep it in a safe place.
I never knew I was going to come to this judge.
Well, the only point in writing a promissory note is to preserve it in case things hit the fan.
I understand.
So, but it doesn't say you can pay whenever you feel like it, whatever you feel like it. It says starting September of 2021 that you're going to pay off the $700. So according to you, how much are you supposed to pay?
Whatever I could.
Except for that's not what it says. It says starting September 2021 on a monthly basis. It just doesn't say how much. Bring that paper back out. What'd you do? Put the paper away again? Shoved it back in there to get even more mangled? No, give me that. Why did you sign a document that says you'll pay on a monthly basis starting September 2021?
Because I believe that that's not the original document that she's presenting right now. Because the original document did not say pay $100 each month.
Is that your
signature? And Miss Valerie refused to give me a copy of that.
Okay, take a look at that and tell me if that's your signature.
She refused to give me a copy.
Is that your signature?
Yes, that's my signature.
Okay, well, then how is that It's clearly not whatever you want, whenever you want, because it says monthly basis. You saw the words monthly basis on the document that you just admitted you signed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so...
It said pay whatever I could on a monthly basis.
Oh, no, that's not what it says. But in any event, how much did she pay off, according to you, ma'am?
A total that Miss Denise has given me is $135. The balance was owed from the
How much is the balance owed?
$444. That's why I'm charging the interest for waiting.
Okay, so of the $700, she paid you an additional
$135.
$135.
And every time
according to you, 700 minus 135 is 565. Why are you suing for 506?
Because the interest, ma'am.
No, 506 is less than 565. So she had to have paid you more than 135 if that was your math.
The receipts
according
are there, ma'am.
Yeah, let's look at the receipts. All right, let's take the first receipt. It says January 27, 2022. Did you actually write that receipt on January 27, 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so would you give her the carbon copy when she made the payments?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see all of the receipts that you have to prove what you paid?
Please.
Ms. Allen, how much do you say you paid?
Okay,
I believe I owe her $350.
That's not my question. How much do you say you paid her? I know you paid the $250 that day. How much more do you say?
Every month I gave Miss Yvonne $30. I gave her one time. I gave her $40.
How much? Did you keep track of what you were paying?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and how did you keep track? I'm sorry. Stop. How did you keep track?
By these receipts.
Perfect. Hand me the receipts. That'll prove what you paid.
And I also have a money order receipt in my phone when I met her at the check cashing place.
And how much did you pay then?
I paid her $30.
Okay, so these receipts.
$25.
Hold on. These receipts plus whatever money order you have in your iPhone total how much?
I believe $350.
No, honey, they don't. Not by any stretch of any imagination. One is for 25, one is for 30,
You're being real rude.
One is for 40. Okay, she has 2 receipts that you don't have, but she doesn't have the other receipts that you do have, so it's kind of funny. And then you said there was one more that I should see that was a money order, or that I should see it through the text.
Right there. I have no reason to lie.
Oh, yeah, you do. Everybody in front of me has a reason to lie. How much was this one for?
25.
All right, so now, why haven't you, if you paid $250 that day and then $130 extra dollars, all right, I'm giving you credit for everything you just said. She actually gave you more credit, ironically, okay? Now, then, why haven't you paid the rest? Because $250 plus, I'm feeling generous. I'm going to give you her figure. $135, because she was so adamant that she was right, means you paid $385 total. Right? And you're supposed to pay $950, so that means you would owe $565. So why haven't you paid the rest of the money?
I tried to talk to Miss Yvonne about the money. I can't talk to her. And
why don't you just pay her?
The reason I pay her every month. 2 times I gave her cash. The truck was on a tow truck. I said, not right now. I don't want to discuss money. She want to come and act foolish. I believe that I don't really owe her that money.
Because the car's a piece of junk.
No, because I know the car is old. I know that. But when she first sold me the truck, when she first sold me that truck, she said, the car only have the mirror broke. You got to take $100 and fix it. Okay, so instead of $950, that turns into $1050. She said, you just got to fix the mirror.
My dear, what did you think was going to happen with a 22-year-old car? You think you're never going to have to put money into it?
I know I was going to have to, but I didn't expect the truck to break down.
And what's our lesson here? No one sells a car without having the full payment. Right? If you release the car to someone, they're going to be mad that they're putting money into it and they're going to not want to pay you. You're supposed to test drive it. You're supposed to have a mechanic look. You're supposed to do whatever you want to do, but you can't not pay the rest of the money you owe that you acknowledge you owe, because you acknowledge you owe it. You're just saying, I shouldn't have to pay it because I've had to pour so much money into it, right? Right. And I know that your agreement is not you'll pay what you want when you want, because the parts I can see of the letter say, it's quite the thing that the actual will be, the $700 will be paid on a monthly basis starting September of 2021. But let's see if it's true that you've paid every month since September of 2021, because I don't think that's true either. You didn't pay every month.
I gave her
Stop. Are you saying you paid more than what you have proof for?
Can I check?
Do you have proof of paying more than what you've given me?
One of the checks in my phone for November.
Right.
And then twice, Miss Lallery and her came to my house.
And you didn't get a receipt?
And she didn't have a receipt book on her.
Then you take the nearest roll of toilet paper and the nearest crayon and you write out a receipt. I hereby gave you whatever. So are you now saying that you've paid more than what you have proof for?
Yes.
Yeah, you can't prove it, so how are you going to... Yeah, she know I did. Watch this.
Did
she?
I gave her cash.
No.
I gave her cash twice.
But I'm not going to listen to you say you've paid more than this when you have receipts. She writes receipts, and actually you've lost some receipts because she gave you credit for other receipts that you don't even have. All right, so now why are you suing for $2,026 if what's owed is $565?
Because, ma'am, let me just say this to you. Miss Allen is very belligerent, okay? Each and every time. I would not have had to get my attorney.
Oh, pain and suffering.
Yeah, because I had to go every penny that she sent me. And on the $25 money order she's talking about, I tried to cash at the check cashing right across the street from me. I couldn't cash it because she signed in the wrong place. She met me at the check cashing. She cashed it. Gave me $24 because they charged $1 to cash it, okay? So she gave me $25. Where is it, okay?
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Yes, I live for the moment.
This is just why I avoided her mouth and disrespect.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least that was the plan. Except now the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want your connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
Listen in. Starbucks. It's a great day for coffee.
I understand her anger.
Right,
but I understand her anger because it's been a year and you haven't finished paying
Her
the
anger,
money.
I spent so much money on that truck.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. Stop right there. Stop right there. I'm going to take a picture right there. That's the rub. You are mad. Listen up. You're mad because you've had to pour money into a 22-year-old car. I spent so much money on that car. You feel that you shouldn't have to pay for a car that you've had to spend money on. And what you don't understand is that you make that purchase as is. So you don't get to withhold money just because you couldn't afford the car outright. And she was nice enough to give you the car. Did you also sign over the title? She signed over the title to you?
Yes, I did.
Right.
I have a copy.
And signs over the title when you still owe money.
Can I show you a text message in that phone that she states that I only owe her $430?
You can, but I'm going to do my own math. I mean, but yes, go ahead.
Because she know I gave her cash.
Okay, let's see that. Show me. How about something that shows?
I gave her cash.
I need you to listen. Show me something that shows that you gave her cash.
There we go.
Okay. So how much cash do you say you paid her?
One time like 30 and one time 20.
So according to you, you
she
paid
came
her.
to my
Stop.
house.
So according to you, you paid an additional $50 that you didn't get receipts for.
Yes.
That is your testimony. Okay. Why are you telling her she only owes $430? You is not about to break my peace. Text me the correct balance, and you text her $430. So why are you suing for more now?
She kept trying to provoke me.
The $430, when I went and she threw the $20 out the window, that's what brought that down to $430.
So how did it get up to $506?
Because of the interest. Me using my gas.
Okay, so then she did pay you cash that isn't accounted for in these things.
Yes, it's two payments in.
So what she owes you is $430?
Yes, and I'm charging for the $500.
So she lied.
Stop.
Okay, interest.
Just know when to stop.
Yeah, know when to
$430. All right. So according to you, she still owes $430, and now everybody's on the same page about that. All right. That would account for whatever cash you say you paid. And according to you, you're supposed to pay whatever you want every month. And that I don't believe, even though I don't see that it says $100 a month. But I know that you're supposed to pay it off more than $20 here, $40 here, and then nothing for 2 months. That's certainly not the agreement. Pain and suffering you don't get on a breach of contract case. You would get interest of money that you were owed, which would be a lot easier for me to figure out if I had the amount that she was supposed to pay per month and how many months she had to pay it. But let's put a pin in that. You have a counterclaim against her for $1,361 for the money you put into repairs, which is really what we're talking about here. It's that you feel that she sold you a piece of garbage and she knew it. She got it off her plate. You paid her $950 good old dollars for a car, and you want something better than a $1,000 car when you buy a $1,000 car. And, you know, that's just not how it works. It is as is. That's what the law says, that you need to check it out beforehand. And we do that. The law says that for a good reason. If it's a new car, you get a warranty, and then you can sue under the Lemon Law and all the other things that you've heard in your life. But when we have commerce between citizens and not business professionals, whatever, we want to keep it simple as can be. So we want people to be able to engage in that commerce on Facebook Marketplace, on Craigslist or whatever, without the thought that a year later they're going to be in court. So we tell people, you're buying a used item, it's as is. That's the law. That's a default position for it. So you can't sue for the money you've put into the car, and you can't not pay her because of the money that you put into the car. If you owe $430, you've got to pay the $430. You know that you never asked for interest in the contract, right? That you were just doing it interest-free, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. But I know that on July 29, you say, I'm sick of it. It's been months. You owe me $430. From that date, I am going to order prejudgment statutory interest until this date, and I am going to order you to pay the $430 remaining on your counterclaim 0. That's my judgment.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
So the plaintiff has prevailed in this lawsuit. The defendant fails in her countersuit, but she does have to pay the plaintiff $430. Let's see what she has to say. Ms. Allen, what's your reaction to what the judge has ordered here today?
I'm fine with that. At least she didn't get more than what she thought she was getting. I'm fine with that. I thank God for it, and I'm just happy it's over. No more drama in my life.
Do you think this is the end of your relationship with her, with Ms. Lowry?
We never had a relationship. We just share the same grandson.
The key issue, have you learned something from this about buying a vehicle? And if so, what have you learned?
Yes, I have learned a lot from it. You know what I learned from this? When you sign a contract with a person, you also get in writing what they say about the product. Get them to write something out also. Yeah. That's what I learned.
You also got to test drive it. That was your big mistake. You
yes, I didn't test drive it. And the car wasn't clean when I got it.
All right. Well, we haven't heard, how's the truck right now? Are you using it? What happened to it?
The truck is on its last leg, but guess what? I'm about to get a new one. God is good. So I'm good with the verdict, and I'm good with everything that went on.
All right. Very good. Well, thank you very much. Good luck. So the plaintiff has prevailed. The judge has ordered her to get $430 from the defendant. And with that being said, Ms. Lowry, let me ask you, how do you feel about the judge's decision?
I'm satisfied. I wish it had never came to this. All I wanted was my money. You took something that was dear and near to my heart, which was something I named after my mother, and refused to pay me. So with that being said, it'll never happen again. I'm just glad it's at the end.
All right. Well, as you put it, with that being said, good for you. Congratulations. Glad you got your money.
Thank you very much, sir.
So, Doug, we've seen it before. This is an as-is deal, which basically means you pays your money, you takes your chances. However, there is one exception, and the exception is fraud. If you can prove not just that there was a misrepresentation, but a serious one, a misrepresentation of a material fact, you could undo the deal even in an as-is sale. But if you can't prove fraud, you're stuck.
Marilyn, what is the most sentimental thing in your home?
We actually have a lot of sentimental things in our home.
Yeah, because you never throw anything away, for starters.
That's one thing.
Ever.
We have a pine cone that I have had since we were single and we were camping out in the Lower Piney in Vail in Colorado.
Right.
And then I put ribbon on it, and it's a Christmas ornament.
It's 32 years old.
It is.
Right?
It is. And every year, and this is like a running joke with the kids, it comes out, and they go, Mom, look. I'm like, oh, the Lower Piney. And then you say...
it looks like a turd.
Right,
or something
very
like that,
romantically.
right?
Then we have all of my children got in their graduation from high school a replica of your mother's badge, her policewoman badge. That's
I had
how
those made.
You had those made, and that was super sweet.
Right, because back when she became a law enforcement officer,
that's what they were called, policewoman.
It was called policewoman. So her badge says policewoman. The original. This is from 1969, 1970.
So we made a little pendant to hang on a necklace that for all of the kids.
They're
that's
like the size of a quarter or smaller.
Yeah,
but it's got just enough detail where you can
so you can make it out. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Department.
What do you think is the sentimental things in our house?
I would go with those. There's a few little knickknacks. You have like a little wooden stool that your father made.
Oh my gosh.
40 years ago or more.
He built it for my mom when way more, John. He built it for my mom when they were dating, so it was 60-something years ago.
Yeah, more than that. It would probably be 70 years ago.
Oh, I'm 61. Wait.
Your mom's 97.
My mom's 97, so it was a long time ago. He built it for her.
Before electricity.
And during every Nochebuena, every Christmas Eve, we would wait until midnight, open presents at midnight, as Hispanics do, and would sit. My mother would sit on that stool and hand out the gifts, and then everybody had to watch as each person opened up their gift. It was crazy. Took us till 3 a.m. Do you ever have to suffer through one of those? Or
no, but I've suffered through.
I think you did. You did.
Look, every year though we do both Christmas Day and Nochebuena.
We do Nochebuena with the Cubans, and then we do Christmas
it's great.
Day.
You get 2 Christmases, basically.
Yes,
I get 2 Christmases anyway.
Right.
So,
and I know how you love festivities. So
I do.
Yeah.
As long as there's no people there.
This is the plaintiff, David Paunovich. He says the defendant is his ex-wife, and they remained friendly. So he loaned her some money when things got tight. She told him she would pay him back, but she's only paid him a portion of what she borrowed. And he's here suing this woman for the $1,785.68 he's still owed. This is the defendant, Shelley Paunovich. She says she had an agreement to drive the plaintiff and his girlfriend to doctor's appointments and to go shopping, and she would work off her debt. The plaintiff's license was revoked and his girlfriend couldn't drive, so she worked off the debt she owed. She's accused of doing her ex wrong.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says he loaned money to his ex-wife. What a shock. She hasn't paid in full, and he wants the money. But the defendant says that she worked off her debt and simply owes the plaintiff nothing more. It's the case of vexing an ex.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, Yana.
Okay, Mr. Paunovich, you are suing your ex, Mrs. Paunovich, for $1,785.68 in loans that you say she has not repaid to you, plus interest, plus lost wages for having to come here. Talk to me. How long were you two married?
Approximately 5 years, Your Honor.
Okay, and you got a divorce how long ago?
It was right about February, if I'm not mistaken, of 2018.
Okay, but you stayed friendly?
I tried to. It didn't work out.
Okay, so what happened?
We ended up separating. She fell on some hard times. I lent her the money. She had an eviction notice. I had her sign that paperwork because I had a feeling she wouldn't pay me back. I asked her several times over the years to at least give me a portion of the money. She basically laughed it off, chuckled at it. I have several texts from her saying that that piece of paper doesn't mean blank. She's made no efforts to pay me back whatsoever. I've had to have the sheriff at my house several times because of her and her nephew.
What do you mean sheriff at your house?
It was because of mutual property that we had at the time that she tried to get back. I ended up just giving it to her. The sheriff advised me finally to just trespass her off the property. I did that. That did not work. It came down to her keying my truck several times. And finally, I was advised to just go get a restraining order against her.
And did you get one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you loan her $340, and what is it for?
Actually, the total amount was originally $400. $300 of it was for her rent. She had an eviction notice, and another $100 of it was for her heating and air conditioning repair. That $100 I do not have in writing. Okay. And of that $100, she paid me back $60.
Leaving now the $340. What's your response to this, Ms. Paunovich?
He did. Or they loaned me $340, and an additional $100 was loaned as well to capture my Freon from my air conditioning unit.
When you say they, what do you mean? Who do you mean?
When I say they, I'm referring to the lady that was living with him at the time. It was not his money, it was hers.
Okay. So you were friendly with his new girlfriend?
I was.
Okay. And, okay, that's odd. So why was that the case, I guess I'm wondering?
Well, her and I became amicable. He met her online, and he convinced her to leave her family, her husband, and her daughter to come live with him. And at the time, it was explained that she had a medical condition. It just wasn't explained to what extent. And when she arrived, she was in her end stage of this condition.
Oh, goodness.
And she basically needed a friend.
Okay. And did she pass away?
She did.
All right. So when you say they loaned you, you started to say he loaned you the $300. Why did you change it to they?
Because it's a correction that needed to be stated. It was her money.
Who did you ask for the money?
I asked him, knowing that he was going to ask her because he was not employed.
Okay. So you assumed that he got it from her, or that he got it from, okay.
I know.
And then who handed you the money?
They did. I was at their house.
Okay. Who's they? They're not both holding on to the money. Do you remember, or you really don't remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I know I was at their home when it was given to me.
Okay. So how have you paid this back if you're saying you paid it back, or do you owe the money and do you just admit it?
It was agreed because at the time I was not employed, and the money that they gave, was to pay my lot rent for the home that I'm now still living in, so that I would not be evicted, that because I was not working, that I would drive them to and fro to the grocery store and doctors. We would go to his doctor's appointments, and
he doesn't drive?
No, he lost his license. It was in the interim of him getting his license back.
Why did he lose his license?
Because he's a habitual alcoholic. It was a DUI.
Okay. Did you lose your license, Mr. Panovich?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
For a DUI?
No, ma'am. It was for reckless driving, and that was over probably 12 years ago.
Did you have priors for DUI?
I did have a DUI, Your Honor. That was all the way back in 1991.
Okay, so what made you lose your license for 12 years?
It was a reckless driving, and at the time, due to the fees and everything, I just didn't have the money to pay it back.
All right, so Ms. Panovich, did you pay any of this money back, yes or no?
Yes.
How did you pay it back?
Cash.
What'd you pay?
With $40 with no receipt.
40 or 60?
I'm sorry, 60.
Yeah, because he's giving you credit for 60. All right.
Right.
And then
the remainder of.
And then the rest of it, according to you, you paid back how?
In driving them to and fro to restaurants and grocery stores and doctor's appointments for the duration of her time there.
Okay, says who? Like, who said you could pay back that way?
Dana did.
For how long? How many trips? Like, how was this figured out?
It was during the duration of the time when she was visiting him, living with him. And at one point, there was no set time. At one point in time, I had taken him on their last trip. And it was at that point that he was inebriated and he came across the table and threatened my life. And I said, I'm done. So at that point, I had asked the police to be called.
He threatened your life how?
He said he was going to kill me.
Why? What had happened just before that? Not that there's ever a good reason, but I'm trying to figure out what precipitated that.
There was an argument or discussion that had embroiled between the three of us. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember him physically coming over at the table, leaning into my portion of where I was sitting and telling me that he was going to kill me. And at that point, I said, I'm done. I looked at Dana and I said, I'm done. I got up from the table. I went to the manager and asked for the police to be called.
Mr. Panovich, did you want to respond to that allegation?
Oh, yes, I do, Your Honor. This incident very well did occur. However, it did not go down the way she stated. We did all go to the restaurant together that evening. However, it was the other way around when Miss Doe got upset. And to clarify, Your Honor,
Miss who got upset? Your girlfriend?
No, the defendant's correct last name is Doe, Your Honor.
Okay.
My girlfriend, to elaborate, had MS, so she was in a wheelchair. And what had ended up actually happening was Shelley was the one that came across, pushed her chair. The police were indeed called, and after several witnesses were interviewed, nothing happened. I ended up getting a ride home with my girlfriend in my truck from the restaurant manager.
And then how did Shelley get home?
The police took her home.
All right. So, Ms. Panovich, do you have any proof of what you're saying, that that it was agreed that you would be able to work it off by rides?
Unfortunately, no. It was never put in writing. It was just verbal. And unfortunately, Dana's no longer here to testify on my behalf.
No, that's true. But, 2 or 3 times during this trial, you have accidentally said, when he gave me the money, when he gave me the money, when he gave me the money. You've admitted that you asked him for the money, so he gets the money from her, but it's still him you are obligated to. So it wouldn't be good enough for your deceased girlfriend to have told you, oh, you know what, you can pay it off this way. But certainly it becomes even more difficult for you when you don't have proof of it. Now, Mr. Panovich, I don't know the math that you're using to arrive at the conclusions you're arriving at for interest, but these are not like math skills of this world. It happened. Don't be embarrassed because it happens a lot with litigants, but they don't understand that it's per annum, not per month. So you have to multiply it by a much smaller number. You have made a $340 debt into a $1,785 debt, which is incredibly usurious, and that's not how you do the math. So assuming that you are owed the entire $340, which I do, okay, the total amount with interest that you would be due to you right now, and you're still, because this happened in the 2017 and 2018, and you're still within the statute of limitations to sue for it, even though it's so old, but interest has accrued throughout that time, is a whopping $430, not $1,785. So I'm ruling in your favor in the amount of $430.
So in this lawsuit between a formerly married couple, the plaintiff is going to prevail to the tune of $430. He'd been suing for $1,785. His figures were way off. Anyway, let's talk to the defendant, Ms. Panovich. Shelley, what's your reaction to this decision?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to prove that the debt was paid in full. My ex-husband should not get this money. It was never his to begin with.
Yeah, but he gave it to you, so you owed the money, either way you look at it, right?
I owed the money, but not to him.
Well, that's debatable. He says he gave you the money. Anyway, look, this is very interesting. Are you still communicating with him? You drive him around? What's your relationship at this point?
Negatory.
Negatory. We don't hear that word very often. Negatory. Okay. What does that mean? You have nothing to do with him at all, or what?
That is exactly that. He's not allowed to come to my home. In fact, he came to my home when his father passed away, and I was upset then.
All right. Well, look, you've got to give him the money, so like it or not, that's what the judge has ordered, so you got to do it, okay? Mr. Panovich, David, let me ask you, she argues whether the money should come from you or not, whatever, it doesn't matter. The judge says she owes you the money. You okay with this? Your figures were way off, by the way. How about that?
Well, okay, I never said I was a mathematician. I'm happy with the verdict. It's time for her to grow up a little bit and pay her debts. She has a long history of not paying debts, including bankruptcy, so this comes as no surprise to me.
So this relationship is kaput. Would you say that's true?
Oh, that's a guarantee.
Okay, a guarantee. All right, well, you're going to get the money. Congratulations, you have prevailed in the lawsuit. All right, Harvey?
Doug, we've talked about this before. You need a record of payment. Always when you say you're working off a debt. Now, in this case, the payment essentially is barter, driving to doctor's appointments. Then you got to get something in writing, get a text that this counts as working off the debt. But if you can't prove that, you're going to be out of luck.
I paid a deposit on an apartment that was supposed to be ready March 1st, but it wasn't. I had to go and get a new place. The manager refuses to return the deposit. I was homeless for 2 weeks because the apartment wasn't ready. What can I do to get my money back, and can I get other damages as well?
Well, you can certainly get your money back because that manager has absolutely no business keeping your deposit if they breach the contract by not having the place ready on March 1st.
And I presume that's got to be a breach because that's when she agreed to move in.
So,
they don't have a place for her.
What you're going to need when you go to court to sue for that is proof that you were supposed to move in March 1st and not March 15th, whenever it was ready. So long as you have that proof, whether it's through a lease or some
hopefully in writing,
text, email, anything that you can record that was recorded and documented, then you should be getting that money back. Now, consequential damages, it depends on what, people throw in the kitchen sink on consequential damages.
That's when you get outside the contract price, that the $2,000 or whatever the deposit was, and you start saying, well, I suffered all these other...
I had to go to a hotel because I
slept on a park bench.
I was...
That. You can't collect for that.
No, you can't collect for homeless either. So, I had to go to a hotel. I had to pay rent somewhere for 2 weeks. I didn't expect to be out that money, et cetera. As I was paying rent in 2 places, whatever your consequential damages are, then that you should be able to get back. But
so you've granted those in these types of cases.
Yeah, it's pretty rare though.
Judges are reluctant to pile on the consequential damages.
No,
on a
because
claim like
the people who ask for them usually ask for them like,
Right.
you know, it's ridiculous. You've turned a
Right.
$2,000 case into a $10,000 case.
I had to go see a psychiatrist over this.
Right.
And I want to start paying for stuff like that. Yeah.
And what the law says is that there has to be causation between the what you're asking for and the bad.
Right.
So there's two parts to every lawsuit. They done me bad. And the second part to every lawsuit is by how much.
Right.
And so you have to be able to prove that this is reasonably related to what happened. And some things are that plaintiffs ask for and some things aren't.
Well, this does sound like a righteous claim. She should get the money back. And I imagine some states might even provide for double damages or treble damages between.
Sure, that's another thing, because every state has different rules on how to punish a landlord when a landlord keeps money that they're not entitled to.
And some are very tenant-friendly rules in that situation.
Yes, some of them will say that it can be double damages, so yeah.
Right, you might be out $4,000 instead of $2,000.
That's right.
You should pay up right away.
Mm-hmm.